Are you still having trouble with the pronunciation of the y sound? Don't worry, you are not alone. Here are 4 simple steps to help you improve and feel more confident when saying this tricky sound. Well, here is something interesting. The y sound is not originally from ancient Hungarian or the Uralic language family. In fact, Hungarian speakers themselves struggled with this sound for hundreds of years. So it's no surprise if you are finding it difficult too. Throughout history, Hungarian people used other sounds instead of y. For example, when they wanted to say gyenge, which means weak, they sometimes said denge. One of Hungarian's Uralic cousins still uses that sound today. In some Hungarian dialects, people say haima instead of hagyma. Here the y sound is used like the y in yellow. Another Uralic language, Mordvin, says gyenge instead of gyenge. That's a blend of the d and y sounds. In Proto-Uralic, the early ancestors of Hungarian and related languages, they used a sound like l, e. For example, the word palyi became falyi after a sound shift, then falj, and finally fogy, which means frost. Sometimes Hungarian borrowed words from Latin. The Latin word gemma turned into gyöngy in Hungarian, meaning pearl. It's also interesting to note that the j sound, which helped influence the j, can also be found in English. Think of words like jelly or jellyfish. And lastly, Turkic languages, which Hungarian had contact with, use a lot of j or j like sounds. So, as you see, j didn't just appear overnight. It developed slowly from other sounds. To make a better j sound, it's really important to listen carefully and pay close attention to what's happening inside your mouth. Try to notice 3 things: which part of your tongue you are using, what your larynx, your voice box is doing, and which part of the roof of your mouth, your palate, your tongue is touching. D. Drum. Feel how the tip of the front of your tongue gently presses against the area just behind your upper teeth. You may also feel a soft pressure and a little buzz in your larynx, in your d, d, d. Now try it in a word. Don't, 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 or dumper, dumper. Now let's focus on the y. This sound is made when your tongue is placed just behind your upper teeth, but slightly pulled back. The sides of your tongue gently touch the roof of your mouth, your palate, while a tiny gap is left in the middle. That small opening allows air to escape, and when it does, you might feel a soft tickle right at the tip of your tongue. There's also a gentle buzzing in your larynx, your voice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, to explore how pressure works in the larynx, something that is important for the j sound, you can try increasing that pressure by slightly pushing your tongue downward as you were making a deeper version of the y sound by saying y, y, y. Now let's look at the j sound, like in the English words jelly or jellyfish. This sound is very helpful for learning y because it shares some of the same tongue and voice features. Here, the front and sides of your tongue press strongly against the middle part of your palate. You leave a tiny gap in the center so air can pass through. That's what creates the sound. At the same time, your larynx with the back of your tongue moves downwards and create a strong pressure in and around the larynx. A sound is being created. J, j, j. Jersey, 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 Jersey. Now we've arrived at the y sound, the start of this lesson. The position of your tongue is very similar to what you did for the j sound. The tongue presses up against the palate, but here's the big difference. With y, the whole tongue is pressed firmly against the roof of your mouth. There is no little gap in the middle like there was with the y or the j. The air doesn't escape right away. Instead, a strong sound builds up in your larynx, in your voice box. You create pressure there, and when that pressure is released, the tongue quickly opens and lets the sound out. A soft vowel like the sound naturally follows. Yeah, 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 yeah. Junj, 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 junjut, junjut, junj. There's also something called the invisible j sound. It's a cool little trick of pronunciation in Hungarian. This happens when a word ends in a d sound and is followed by a suffix that begins with a y. When you say it out loud, those two sounds blend together and suddenly you get the y sound. Here is an example. Odd, 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 odd plus jatok, oddjatok. If you listen closely, you won't just hear the and y. You will actually hear a full j sound in the middle. But here's the interesting part. This j sound isn't written in spelling. It's only created through pronunciation. This might be one of the reasons why some Hungarian language books say that j come from a combination of d and y, because in cases like this, it really does. So, which sound did you find the most helpful in learning how to pronounce the y sound? We'd love to hear your feedback. Let us know in the comments which exercise helped you the most.